Good evening. Thank you for coming out this evening. It's really, I think, the perfect day to stand outside in line for tickets. We really brought in some great weather for you. So thank you for coming out. Really appreciate you being here. I'm going to play a piece of music by Elizabeth Raum. She was born in 1945, and the first decades of her career were really as a professional oboist, playing in orchestras, several different orchestras around Eastern Canada. But the latter part of her career has really been more focused on composing, and perhaps the grandest of her compositions being a ballet that she wrote to the story of Carmen. So it's the same story as the Bizet opera that we all know, but not using any of the same themes. She rewrote her own themes and wrote her own ballet of Carmen. So let's fast forward a few years, and there is a music festival happening in Portugal, and it's led by Sergio Carolino. Now, Sergio Carolino is a name you should all remember, and when you go home, I want you to look him up, and you're going to look for an album called Surrealist Conversations. It's a whole album of tuba and accordion, and I kid you not, it is marvelous. I mean, it's an amazing work. So it's great for, preparing dinner. You've got tuba and accordion in the background. It's really great. So he invited Ms. Raum to write a piece of music for his festival. And given that the festival was in Portugal and Andalusia is the location of the scenes in Carmen, she just took a few of the themes that she had already written for her ballet and then mutated and expanded them into this work, which I am fairly confident you'll enjoy.
I just wanted to mention too that there's a soldier's march in here. There is a Romani, what do we call it? We can't say gypsy anymore. A Romani fortune teller. And then we have a bullfight. There's a bullfight in here. This is so great for the kids. I'm glad you guys brought your kids. Enjoy. I love these guys. Let's give it up one more time for the brass. Yeah. All right, everybody, thank you so much for being here tonight. This concert is brought to you in part by a Back to Business grant that we applied for, that we had lost money during COVID, and they gave us a nice grant to put this concert on for you tonight. So that's, we're a proud recipient of a Back to Business grant. Our mission, the mission of the International Chamber Artists, is to present performances driven by the highest standards of artistic excellence, while collaborating with communities and organizations to promote the viability and growth of classical music audiences for the future. That's you guys. ICA has done so much over these 18 years. It's been 18 years we've been at it. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to all of you. We've collaborated with all kinds of artists. Get this, I made a little list. We've done stuff with dancers, singers, photographers, painters, sketch artists, actors, puppeteers, composers, librettists, authors, opera singers, those are the hardest ones, just kidding, we love them, motion picture artists, and more. We've commissioned new works and uncovered forgotten gems. We've brought music of black composers, women composers, and black women composers. We've brought this into your lives, and we will continue to program a wide variety of repertoire. Early on, once many of us started having kids, we soon realized the important need to start a Chamber Music for Kids initiative, which continues to this day. We do this annual family concert here at CHS. And these family concerts showcase the ICA Brass Quintet, often in costumes. Sometimes you'll see them as brass-stronauts. I love that one. Broadening the horizons wide for children of all ages. And some of you might not know, but when we started ICA, we gave a chunk of our income, I think it was about 20%, we gave from every concert to a local music school. It was called the People's Music School, that was in the Uptown area. And they, yes, you remember. Thank you, Mead. And they give 100% tuition-free music lessons to kids who apply and get into that school. The first year we were around, in 2006, from all of our concerts, we ended up giving them a check for nearly $2,000. And then the second year, it was up to $3,000. So we love to support the youth and the kids. And in the past, we even featured music students from local area student music schools on our concerts. The kids would play on the concerts, so they would get a sense of what it's like to be on a professional concert and maybe whet their appetites, and hopefully we inspired some for the next generation. We also started small. I paid the musicians $50 per concert when we started, and I paid myself nothing when we started for a couple years. And that reminds me of something that I recently read. In case you're unfamiliar with the issue, try this social experiment. Walk into a room full of musicians and announce that you own a small restaurant or bar and that you're looking for a musician to play there. Tell them that you don't have the budget to pay them, but you can give them a free meal and a few drinks. And besides, it's a great opportunity to get some exposure. And then just sit back and listen to what the musicians say. Sarcastically, of course, they would say, well, why don't you come over to my place and cook a meal for me and my friends? We can't afford to pay you, but it's great exposure for your restaurant. Or, hang on, let me get the details of my exposure account so that I can give you an exposure invoice. A huge moment in the life of ICA, for me, was adding a world-class composer in residence in Jim Stevenson. What a thrill, what a thrill. Jim, stand, please stand. It's such a thrill to be able to play his works. Last year we premiered his colorful opera, Caribou, on this very benefit sort of concert. And this year a highlight for me was being able to dramatically read his The Devil's Tale. That was really exciting, which is a sequel to Stravinsky's Soldier's Tale. And what fun to get to pretend again. I got to pretend, I got to be a kid. At ICA, you don't have to grow up. You can live, when you come in these doors, you can live in a constant state of wonderment. And now next season, I'd like to commission a brand new work from Jim, and more on that in a second. He doesn't even know that yet. But I'm hoping you can all help me with this. So I'd love for you to consider making a donation tonight on top of your ticket to help support our mission. In order to help the process, I've had a grateful parishioner and music lover step forward and donate a matching $5,000. Yeah, yes. Now, before we get to the financial assistance portion of the fundraising concert, I do have preliminary ideas for programs for next season. Anybody want to hear them? Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. So I'm all about the connections and bringing people together. So I thought, with our board, we had kind of a session with our board, and we thought that each of our programs could feature at least 2 members of the same family. So get this. We've got Clara Schumann and Robert Schumann, same family. So Clara's got some beautiful lieder, 6-lieder, Opus 13, and then the Robert Schumann Piano Quintet. It's glorious. I haven't played that since my days in Civic Orchestra, so I'm looking forward to doing that. And then Dvorak was the father-in-law to Joseph Suk. So I thought we'd do a little Dvorak Piano Quintet, the famous A major, and then Joseph Suk also has one as well, so we could see how they compare against each other. And then also the Joaquin Trina, this piece for solo viola and piano quintet, suggested by our violist. In December, my schedule, I hate to say this in front of everybody, but my schedule is nuts in December. But I thought maybe we could do a soiree at my house, caroling around the piano. So do like a special ticket price for that, and then do like just some lovely carols around the piano with some chamber instruments supporting the singing. I thought that could be cool. We can probably find some Christmas tunes by composers that are related. I haven't thought that far yet. And then in February, our family concert is always the Saturday before the Super Bowl, so you can put it in your calendar right now. February 8th, 11 a.m. here. I hate to say this is a mixed audience, I know, but we're going to try and do the President's program. Maybe we can have them act out the last debate. Oh, I digress. Yes. And that again always features our brass quintet. And then another concert I have in mind is Bach's Box. And this was by one of our board members, Jim Crawford, who's over here. Bach's Box. So Bach, as you know, had like 75,000 kids. So there's a lot of relation there. So the father-son dynamic. There's some harp, a CPE Bach concerto for flute and harp. That's lovely. And then the brass quintet has done the St. Anne Prelude and Fugue. We might resurrect the St. Anne Prelude. They don't even know this yet. This is, yeah. Okay, and then the benefit next year, what I'd like to do is commission a piece from Jim Stevenson, and his daughter Maddie composes as well. And she actually won this award in China for composing. So she's no slum. And not knowing that guy, no, she wouldn't be. But I want to commission a piece from both Jim and his daughter Maddie. And the commission price is based per minute, so I'm looking to raise some money tonight. And then also Jim's piece on the program, we do maybe the Thinking, which is a sextet for violin, viola, clarinet, bassoon, trumpet, and piano. And then there's also the Martinu. I wanted to do this just for fun. The Martinu Revue de la Cuisine, which is for the same instrumentation, but it's so much fun. So that's my plan for next year. Also have some other fun plan. I see Bill's in the back. Bill and I have been talking about doing another concert at the Racket Club of Chicago, and also at Bill's Garage. More on that later. It sounds cool. So I'm all about connections, as I said. I'm all about connections. And this year the season title was Sharing Musical Connections. Next year I have a season that will be something along the lines of A Family Affair, if we want it to be a provocative, or All in the Family, if we want it to be the 70s sitcom idea. Maybe we should take a vote. We just take a vote. Would you raise your hand if you like A Family Affair? Raise your hand if you like that one. Okay, all right. And raise your hand if you like All in the Family. It's a tie. It's a tie right down the middle. All right. Anyone who's in marketing that has other ideas, I'm all ears. Okay, and also please consider joining the board. Our board is wonderful. Board members, would you please stand and take a bow? Board members that are here tonight. Carla, Jim. Yeah. They help us every year and in the black. So I say this every year, but again, my gift is changing your money into inspirational music. So, who out there is willing to help champion our cause by matching the $5,000 with another $5,000? Anybody willing? That'll make this really easy. Okay, all right. How about if you have a friend, each of you could do $2,500. Anybody willing to match? We have to match this tonight. We must do it. Okay, I'm going on. Anybody willing to go at the $1,000 level? Anybody willing to make a $1,000 donation to help support? Oh, pardon me just a minute. Oh. Yes? Oh, you are? Oh, this is someone tuning in on the live stream. Yes. Okay, that would be, wow, okay, that'll start us out. Okay, she wants to remain anonymous. Okay, well, thank you for tuning in. Tell all your friends to donate. Good. All right, thank you. Have a good night. She donated $1,000. There we go. First 1,000. Great. Nice. Okay. Anybody want to go 750 or above? 750 and above. Willing. We got one here. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And how about between 500 and above? 500, anything above 500? We got one here. Thank you, Patrick. Patrick Berklich. Thank you. Anybody that was here the last 2 years know that my mom was at these benefits. She was not able to be here today because my dad's not doing too well. But my mom pledged $200 last year and the year before. And then they got a bunch of other people pledging $200. So she said, she wanted me to tell you that she expects you to match her amount or you can go to your room. So, is anybody ready to match my mom's gift of $200? Okay, we got in the back, Bill, thank you. Bill, we got here, John, thank you. Jim, Carla, thank you. Over here, Paul, thank you. Paul, Megan, thank you. Jean, thank you. All right, anybody here? All right, Lauren, thank you. And Judy, thank you, Judy. All right, and anybody want to go $100 to help us out? $100. Okay, right here, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, we got 2, we got 3. Thank you. Mary Beth, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, looks like Judy. And how about $50? Anybody willing to go $50? Anybody 50? We got no one wants to do 50. How about anything below 50? Raise your hand if you want to go below 50, any sort of amount, any sort of amount. Anybody here, anybody there? Carrie does, my wife. Good. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. So I think with that sort of donation amount, we can probably get about an hour-long piece out of Jim. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just totally kidding. Okay, so all of your donations ensure that our musicians won't have to play for exposure either. So thank you for that, our musicians. And now it's time for something free. This Rhapsody literally means a free instrumental composition. And it's also time to get blue. So Gershwin calls it Rhapsody in Blue. That's because of the jazz and blues elements that he incorporates into the piece. So my gift to you all tonight is this lovely new arrangement of Rhapsody in Blue for brass quintet and piano. Enjoy. Thank you all for coming. Really appreciate you being here.
Thank you.